Now that we are done with the concept, it's time for me to show you practically in the code how is the inverted theme principle work. Remember, my focus for this course is to show you the principles and techniques that doesn't change over time. So it's very important that I become clear and detailed on explaining my thought process and how I go about things. If you have created a Next.js application with Tailwind CSS, you know that Tailwind CSS has got a Tailwind config file. This is where you can extend the Tailwind CSS system. So meaning that if you want to create your own colors or define your unique colors, you can do so. So as you can see here in the Tailwind config, we've got theme, we've got extend, this extend object. And what we are extending the colors. So this means that we are just defining our own colors, right? Yes. Now, there is a certain way in which you have to define those colors, okay? Let me just zoom this in so that it can be visible. Okay, let me zoom this in again. I think this is much better. Okay, let's see. Am I searching something? I don't like these stripes. Nothing. Okay, I don't like these stripes, but that's not important. Okay, so as you can see, there is a certain way to define those colors, and this certain way, it's what makes our life easier. Okay, so let's just go through these colors. We've got the colors that are going to be on the background of your own application. It's like if you are creating a card component, it's going to be the background of that card component. If you are creating a page, it's going to be the background of that page. If you are creating an input, it's going to be the background of that input. So we call those colors walls. Okay, you know the concept of a wallpaper or a wall paint or a wall color. You know, a wall, it's usually something that is always at the back. Okay, so on top of the wall you put a lot of things. Okay, so that's why these start with wall. Okay, so with that being said, we have these colors: wall, dark, primary. So this means that this is the primary color for the dark version of the backgrounds. My apologies about that. We've got wall dark secondary, we've got wall dark tertiary. Okay, as you can see. And then from then we've got wall dark secondary border, we've got wall dark tertiary border. So picture an element, a div, a square div with a background. Okay, that background, depending on your theming, maybe it might be a wall dark primary. Okay, this is usually the some sort of the darkest color in your dark colors. Okay, which is dark, let's say black. Okay, and then your wall dark secondary, it's more like grayish. Okay, it's more like grayish in color. And your wall dark tertiary, it's more like light gray. So as you can see, this is dark, this is the darkest, darker, and dark. Okay, I hope that makes sense, but I'm just trying to say the primary is the darkest one, and the secondary it's somewhat better, and the tertiary it's lighter. Okay, elements, they are always bordered in most cases, or at some point you will want to put a border there. So in this system we are cognizant of that, we are aware of that. So we have included also a wall dark secondary border and a wall dark tertiary border. One might ask, where is a wall dark primary? Remember, primary, or the dark primary, it's the darkest color, so usually you use it on your background. It really doesn't have a border. Let's just make an example. In this Visual Studio Code interface, we've got this dark color here. Okay, as you can see, it acts as a background. So this means that if this color acts as a background, it doesn't have the border, because the border of this color, okay, it's the screen itself. It always fits on the screen. So this darkest color in your shades of dark doesn't really have a border. And then we've got this grayish one, okay, as you can see where we are typing, okay. This grayish color might have a border, as you can see, okay. It might have a border, but the darker one, since it's going to be always on the background, it doesn't have a border. My apologies about that. So I hope you do understand this. Why do you have to understand this? Simply because when you want to change the colors in your own application, you are not going to go in each and every file and change colors. You're just going to come here and change the colors as you wish. So looking at this technique or this system of the wall colors, we've got some sort of the inverse of that, okay. If this is black for dark theme, okay, we need to have the inverse of this so that our Tailwind class that we are going to create to help us switch from light to dark automatically can know that it needs to switch from wall dark, okay, wall dark primary to wall light secondary. So I hope you get the idea of why do we have to define these colors this way, because our Tailwind class that we are going to create, Tailwind system, it will help us to switch from light to dark mode. So this means that this is some sort of a list of dark colors, and this is a list of the inverse of those. So as you can see, if this is dark, this is light, okay. So the system will switch from this one to this one. So it doesn't end there only on background colors. We've got text as well that also has to change. So with the text, the same technique applied. We've got text light primary, text light secondary, text light tertiary. And then we've got the inverse of those, which is text dark primary, text dark secondary, and text dark tertiary. I hope now you understand, or you can see that this is just the definition of the colors. Now let me show you some sort of the CSS classes which are responsible for consuming these and switching them automatically or accordingly, okay. So here we've got some corresponding CSS classes, okay. So we've got wall primary, okay. Let's say you want to define like the darkest background in your own application. You are going to use this Tailwind class wall primary, and that's it. So this means that in your own development time or process, you are not going to switch or between light and dark, okay. You are not going to be concerned about that. When you want to put a light background, okay, more especially a primary one, you are going to use this class wall primary, okay. What if somebody switches from light to dark? This line of code will do that for you. It will switch from this light to dark. So this is where we are actually switching. So meaning that we are defining the colors here once and for all, and we are switching from light to dark once and for all. Guys, this will save you time in development, okay. Moving from light to dark, not only it's time consuming, but as time goes by, it's confusing, okay. You have to always go through your JSX trying to look for where was I creating a dark color, where was I creating a light color. So as you can see, if you want to use the primary wall color, you just use this class. If you want to use the secondary, maybe for a card component, so meaning that this will be dark, and your own card component won't be that dark, and then you will use this, okay. And meaning that this will always automatically switch from light to dark. So as you can see here, we've got some other styles as well, which is wall tertiary, we've got text primary, we've got text secondary, and we've got text tertiary, okay. So this means that with this being done, your light and dark color theme, okay, or theme colors, they are intact, okay, they are bulletproof. You just write them and define them once and for all, and then you are free to go, so that you can have more time on solving the actual client problem. You can modify this because this is just normal Tailwind CSS. With the knowledge of Tailwind CSS, you can modify this according to how you want it. And that is it for this one. See you on the next one.